And
hello and welcome and happy Valentine's Day. It's Friday Fenndango at A Gypsy's Kiss, and I am the magical treasure princess and life coach to the rich and famous Shelley Carney. Oh, look, we're live.
thank you. And I am administrative assistant and chief concierge to the magical treasure princess, Toby Younis. We will be your host tonight for another episode of Gypsy's Kiss. We don't have a lot of emails. We don't have a lot of text messages. We don't have a lot of voicemails. So we're going to go.
But you know we have a lot of candy.
Chocolate candy and vino de rosé. So we're probably going to get to phone calls right away, and that could make for either a real long night or a real short night. In the meantime, we'd like to wish you all a happy Valentine's Day. We hope yours was as enjoyable, at least as ours, maybe more so on your part. But here we are, and we're ready to rock and roll Friday night. How are you doing over there?
Oh, I'm good.
Oh, this is one that has caramel in it.
Yeah, it's so yummy.
Yummy. All right.
Housekeeping, you want towel?
Porque towels, toallas, son muy importantes. Please, before you leave tonight, like our video. YouTube likes it when you like our videos. The Magical Treasure Princess especially likes it when you like our videos, and that would be a wonderful Valentine's Day present for her. Share it with your family, your friends, your neighbors, your business associates, the entirety of your social network so that we can
grow the channel.
And then last but not least, if you are not already a subscriber, this would, of course, be the ideal time to subscribe. Subscribe, and once you subscribe, you ring that notifications bell. And that way, when we start a live stream, I don't know if it actually happens that way, you'll be informed and
in the know.
Because there's nothing better in life than being in the know. We know that. I would like to thank 3D Bronze for showing us how to use Super Chat. Down at the bottom of your screen, there's a stylized but grayed out $sign. Click on that $sign, and YouTube will walk you through making a contribution to our little effort here. And we can always use a contribution. What better time to Super Chat than Valentine's Day? 3D Bronze, we agree with you in a wholehearted fashion. 3D Bronze can be found at 3dbronze.com. That's the number 3, the letter D, bronze.com.
Did you do the teaching?
I didn't, but thank you for doing that. And he sells all kinds of different products made to 3D Bronze, and he sends some of them to us, and we put them in our treasure chest.
Fancy coin.
Beautiful fancy coin.
New Mexico.
So, the caramel is leaking all over my
This one
desk.
with a rooster on it. Rooster
for the roosters. So there's that. We do want to inform you that we're going to make some not programming changes. So we have a channel that started life out as Video Tarot. It's where I used to put my documentary work. It's where we put out our marketing work. We did a lot of things. And then I went through a phase with restoring
for actors.
Oh no, we did
movies.
all kinds of stuff.
All kinds of stuff.
So I went through a phase where I was restoring old toy cars, and that was very successful. It raised the channel up to 1,000+ subscribers, which means we can monetize it now. But what I discovered is to do one of those toy cars required about 4 days of effort and all this
Intense
equipment,
work.
intense work.
And editing, which he never really was a fan.
I've never been a fan of editing ever since I've had to do it most of my life. Anyway, so I finally announced that, you know what, this is not fun anymore, and I'm retired. And I just want to do stuff with the Magical Treasure Princess and whatever that is. So we shut it down, but in the meantime, it got another X number of subscribers, went over to 1,000, which is the point at which, with that combined with 4,000 hours in the last watch time in the last 12 months, you can monetize it. So we're within, what did we say, 600 hours of that?
Yeah, 600 hours.
So what we decided to do with the channel is we're going to rename it again. And
it's rebirthing it.
Rebirthing it again, re-energizing reviving it.
It's like Frankenstein. We take little bits and pieces and sew them together.
And actually,
hit
if
it with
there's
lightning.
if there's anything that you want to know about our lives over the past 7 or 8 years, it's someplace in Video Tarot, because we did all kinds of stuff on there. So anyway, we're going to rename it. It's going to be called BTS Toby and Shelley and Toby. That's BTS stands for behind the scenes, and we're just going to put up everything there that we can't put anyplace else. So one of the kind of the challenges of YouTube is you establish a channel, and you pretty much have to maintain a consistent level of effort, meaning you have to put out regular programming, and that programming has to be consistent in the type of topic. So AGK is dedicated to the Fenn Treasure. Every time we've wandered a little bit off that, we get spanked and we come back. You
think we'd learn our lesson?
We'd think after all those spankings, you'd think we'd learn our lesson.
So we're not messing with this channel.
Right. And we're not messing with
anymore.
The World Sand Project channel. Yeah, this is it. So the World Sand Project, we've decided, no, it's not the place for the e-bike stuff, the softer side. We know what that's all about. So those are going to be kind of dedicated channels as we've tried to make them. Like I said, we've been off the ranch every once in a while, but we get lassoed back and pulled back in, and every time.
Well, the videos from It's Not a Restoration will stay there.
As
JK Pioneer.
As have the restoration videos.
All the other videos too. The boat walk around and the happy birthday thing. The things that got the most views.
Yeah, happy birthday, 67,000 views, right? Anyway, so we're going to do that. We're going to rename it BTS Toby and Shelley.
We're going to restore the channel. That's right.
And then everything that we do that isn't related to World Sand Project, A Gypsy's Kiss, or the softer side will go there. So it's just going to be kind of a bunch of stuff.
Yep.
But we're going to do it live stream, so
like
that means an extra.
Or just me and Toby sitting around talking about his new toys.
Yeah, because I have a lot of toys.
Or, just look what I got today. Whee! My name is Aphrodite, and I am a little pink fox.
You are a little pink fox, aren't you? So that's what we're going to do with it. We'll probably make the change over the next couple of weeks, and then we'll let you know if you guys want to hang out with us and learn, e-bikes, microscopes, how to build a business online.
Yeah, we'll do call-ins. You can talk about anything.
Yeah, so that's how it's going to be.
We're still going to moderate the channel. There's not going to be a bunch of people getting on there trolling and attacking and talking about drugs and sex and stuff. That's still going to be off the table. It's still going to be family friendly.
Yeah, we'll probably have the same moderators in there. But we're going to do a lot of live streams, and we're going to talk about the things that we do when we're not doing A Gypsy's Kiss. And that includes, a lot of other things, a lot of other interests, a lot of other time we spend. We're about to launch another business. And so you may want to know about business. We're going to do some business. So you may want to know about what we're doing there. We'll talk about that.
Yep.
It's called Sales Leaders Institute. So we've already begun the launch. We're doing the first phase of marketing, and it's coming back very nicely, so we're very happy with it. And there may be a point at, I don't imagine that'll happen anytime soon, but there may be a point where that takes over our lives and, we give a rest. But for now, we'll just keep doing it where we want. We don't like not being busy.
Well, and we have the studio, so, we're going to use it.
Yeah.
It's just too easy to not use.
Right. It's not like we have to do a lot of shooting and editing. I mean, we've gotten to the point where anything we want to do.
Sometimes we even go live on the right channel.
I will take that little Aphrodite fox away from you.
My.
So, so we're going to be doing some other stuff. Just keep an eye out. We'll let you know. All right. Yes, I am drinking wine.
And I'm drinking water.
All right. So I did want to say, did I get rid of that? What the heck happened to that?
What
Hold on.
happened to what?
Crave creative.
I don't know. Did you close it when we went crazy?
I guess I must have closed it when we went.
Sometimes we go crazy.
We do. And this was definitely one of those nights. All right.
We
so
might even have a different background. Think of the backgrounds we could have.
for BTS,
Yeah.
we'll be calling it BTS.
Well-
Oh, look at that. BTS behind the scenes, TS, Toby and Shelley. So we could call it BTSTS. Always thinking. Always.
Behind the scenes, behind Toby and Shelley.
Right, right.
What's behind Toby and Shelley today?
Green screen, right. So
We're so fun.
do want to mention screenshot. So I do want to mention our friend
Did we
Mike.
even get through all of the
Hold on,
other
what?
stuff?
Yeah, pretty much.
The towels?
We did the towels. We did all of that. We'll not grow the channel.
Yeah. We didn't talk about Super Chat, though.
We haven't yet, but we will. You know, we did with
we?
3D bronze.
Oh, okay.
I said you showed us how to use it.
Wow. Look how much I don't remember.
Are you sure you're not drinking?
I only had one glass at dinner, and that's
All
all I
right.
can have
Okay.
because I already forgot everything.
Icky.
Okay, moving on to Pocket Field Notes.
Okay, Pocket Field Notes is an application developed by Mike Hempfling at Crave Creative. I'm not going to say he did it at my request. I asked him what he thought about it, and he thought it was a good idea, so he developed the product. He did it in 2 days, and he did it based on the fact that I thought it would be very helpful for World Sand Project, but the more that I saw it, this Pocket Field Notes, it can apply to anyone who's collecting data, collecting information out in the field. And that could apply to our Reddit friends in the geology Reddit or the Rockhound Reddit, because you're collecting the same information. You want to collect the latitude, the longitude, the elevation, the date, the time, and you want some pictures, and then you want to be able to make notes with it. And then you want to package that all up in a folder, and you want to mail all of that stuff back to yourself so you can start evaluating and analyzing it. So it struck me that's the kind of stuff that I do right now when I go out in the field for searching for Fenn's treasure. The only difference is I take the drone, and that creates some additional folder material. But it was a good start for that. So it applies to anyone. This tool can
Of course,
be used
there's
by...
the Fenn Treasure.
He
one
also has a
does-
Fenn Treasure
does this
one.
stuff too, right?
It doesn't do all of this.
Oh, it doesn't do all of
No,
this.
it's mostly oriented towards the poem, the clues, and the longitude, latitude, and the map reference. So this adds the note-taking, the picture, the imaging, et cetera,
I see.
and the foldering and the emailing. So he did a lot. He added some extras. And if you go to it, there's actually, let me see if I can go forward here. So these pictures are taking forever to load. So that's the front page. But he actually, oh, no, it's not there. So he actually made one folder for World Sand Project, right? So there is a World Sand Project folder in which you can start adding notes. And each note is a project area. So I installed it on my phone. It costs $1.99. I installed it on my phone, and I'm going to be using it this weekend in Las Vegas because on Sunday I'm planning to go to 2 different, maybe 3 different locations to do some sand collection, and I'm going to use Pocket Field Notes to collect the data along with a sample, and then I'll report on that next week. So I'll let you know how it works. I've played around with it over the past couple of days, and it looks like it's very complete. It's very cool. And would be great if you're the kind of searcher that wants to document what you're doing when you go boots on the ground. It's not just for World Sand Project. Basically, it's for anyone who spends time in the field for any reason, and you have to document that time. So take a look at it. It's called Pocket Field Notes. Let me see if I can find the cover page. Here it is. So it's called Pocket Field Notes. You can buy it in the Google Play Store, the Apple App Store, or you can buy it on Amazon and have it down. Works on smartphones or tablets. Okay, so I wanted to do that for Mike because I just think it's the coolest project in the world and is very much in line with the way that I work. So I was really happy that he did that. So, okay, $1.99. That's all
Get
it
that
takes.
at the dollar store.
You can get that at the dollar store. All right, so
Yes.
I know this is a weird night because a lot of people are celebrating Valentine's Day. They're probably out to dinner and doing other things. So honestly, I expect that this is going to be a relatively short show, and we think for Valentine's Day, that's the way it should be. In addition to that, as soon as this show is over, I'm going to pack my truck so that I can head out early tomorrow morning.
But I got, look, my Valentine from Tony Henman. See how nice?
Isn't that pretty? So,
Little heart-shaped pink stone.
yeah,
Very pink.
very pinky.
Is that a pink zircon, rose zircon? What is it?
No. It's a topaz.
Topaz?
Or it might be a sapphire. It might be a pink sapphire, but they're pink topaz, pink sapphires as well.
Oh.
So I would have to, if you want me to test it, I could find out for you.
Oh. I don't know.
Scratch
It's pink.
this. It's just pink and it's pretty and it sparkles, right?
Sparkly and pink. And it's heart-shaped. So I like it.
So I thought that'd make a good Valentine's Day present for her.
Yeah.
So we're out of gemstones as of this moment, and I just packed the 12 gemstones that I'm taking with me to Las Vegas that we're turning over to Christy and Mike so they can add it to the trove of stuff that they're giving away as part of the World Series of Fan. Tony said he's going to be there, and he said he'd have a couple more, I think he said 5, I want to say 5, gemstones for us, and when we get them, we'll give them away on our shows as usual. Okay, so
All right.
I think that's it. So
All right.
why don't we read the one? I think we only have one email, right?
Oh, over there.
Yeah, sorry.
Okie dokie. There it is. Did you play the video while I was
I haven't.
over
I
there?
should though, huh?
All right.
All right.
This is Request for Advice from Bill. Hi, Toby. I believe Mr. Fenn's treasure is located near Big Sky, Montana. I'm planning to go check out my spot, but can't quite seem to figure out when would be the earliest time I could get there, given weather conditions. Do you know when the snow will be melted out that way? Thanks a bunch. So who here knows about Big Sky, Montana, when the snow melts?
So what's the gentleman's name?
Bill.
Bill. So a couple of things. Number one, I'm not searching in that area, so I don't keep track of the weather in that area. I worry about northern New Mexico. And I know we've got snow up there that will probably be there at least until maybe late April. That's when it starts melting for us. You can expect that the further north you go, the later it can. But there's 2 ways pretty much to find out. One is to hang out in the chat room and ask if there's anybody in the chat room from Montana and that can answer for you. The second thing to do, and which is what I recommend, call the Forest Service office or the National Park office closest to your search area and ask them. They would prefer that you not do anything that results in them having to spend lots of money searching for your body. So it's been much better just to call them and ask them what the weather's like and whether or not the snow is melted and the roads are safe. And they'll tell you. And then I don't know where you're coming from. Did you say where he's coming from? Is he a Flatlander?
Didn't say.
All right. Just be careful. And the weather in the mountains is variable. And so you have to keep an eye on that. And you have to make wise choices, good choices up there, because a bad choice will move you from an emergency to a survival situation to a life-threatening situation real quickly. So you want to avoid all of that if you can. All right? So that's it for emails?
That's it.
All right. Why don't you say hi to the folks in the chat room? You might be able to get
Okey-dokey.
all the way back. I will, while you're doing that, look for any questions. I didn't see any.
Are you going to play the hello?
Yeah,
video?
yeah. You know what? I am. By the way. So if you want to reach out to us and make sure that I should just let you sing this each time.
On a cloudy day.
Okay, thank you. If you want to reach out to us and you want to make sure that we see your question, please highlight your question in the chat room with an @ Gypsy's Kiss, just like you'd imagine it was, just like you see it down there. I'm sure one of our moderators will do it. Let's see, who's that?
There's
That's way up. Has done it.
K9.
So that's one way. And also, you can send a text message to the number right below us, 202 815 1171. You okay over there? Or you can call that number right now and leave a voicemail message, which we will play. And then later on, we'll open up the phone lines, and you're welcome to call and have a conversation about anything you want under the sun, as long as it's related to Forrest Fenn.
Under the sun, but it's nighttime.
Yeah, it's true. That's my point exactly. So you can't talk about anything. Okay, go back to saying hi. I'm going to
So
go.
hello to our friends in the chat room, and happy Valentine's Day to all of you as well, including William, Captain Marvel, Christine Kenzie, TX Marshall, LR, the Sassy 1962, Sean Martinez, hello, LR, Paul Wood, Mr. Anonymous, Mr. T, Mojo Man Mike, Zozo Rocks. We have Hooli in the room. Also, Because I Can, BJ Champley. Davio's here. JK Pioneer. Corey Jacobs. 3D Bronze. Do you know who it is? JK Pioneer. We have Journeyman. Craig O'Hare. World Famous Gamer. Yeah. MJ Inzer. We have Davio, Brian Gates, Twiggy T, Paul Wood, Colorado's here. Colorado, why aren't you out with Sarah?
They're probably cuddled up and watching us on the big
where
screen.
it's warm. Jim Series here.
Christine Kenzie says 34 days till spring.
Gallatin Ghost.
Is that right?
23 Monarcha. I don't know.
The spring.
21st of March.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
about right.
it's about a month away.
I don't know. Did you count the 29th of February there, Christine? Because there's a
Yeah, it's like
extra
today.
day in there.
Sarah Rocks.
she's
So
in
they're
the
having their date here in the room with us.
room. Great.
Sarah in Colorado.
Oh, my daily agenda's in the room. And did she say that she received her?
Yes, she wrote to us and
Oh,
said
she did.
she got it.
Okay, good.
93 Butterscotch. Howdy, lurking in Nebraska. Well, it's not technically lurking if you say hello.
Right.
Haha.
Aha.
But we
Lurking
do
would
appreciate you
be-
saying hello.
Lurking would be just standing back and watching the chat room go by without
Yeah.
commentary.
Yeah. Mel Drum. Oh, you know, he probably likes that video we play with the drums. Brian Ulrich.
So we were goofing around last night after our member vault meeting, and I don't know how we even got there, but at some point I asked Google.
You mean
I
running
said,
down the street naked?
no, not that. After that,
Oh,
when we were back at the house,
okay.
and I said to Google, "What can you tell me about Toby Younis?" Or did I say Toby Michael Younis?
No.
Just say, "What can you tell me about Toby Younis?" So next time you're around your Google, ask what she can tell you about Toby Younis.
Why don't you just say it out loud now? Hey, Google.
For all the people that are listening to us. That's terrible. That would be a thing.
Long way to Tipperary.
Did I say that Daly said, Happy Valentine's Day, Toby and Shelley?
Shats K9 Treasure Hunter.
Davia says, Toaster, and Happy Valentine's Day, Toaster and
Because I
Shelley.
can. Lavender Blonde is here. Ola Blonde. Because I can.
Sarah says, he better tell me every day he loves me more than the day before. Or I will, what?
Or else.
Or what?
What?
Who's ringing? Who's beeping?
You. Wasn't me.
Oh, it's not this phone.
You sure?
No.
I think it was. People are texting you to say, oh, Happy Valentine's.
No, I was looking at the text. That's what I was looking
Dave
at.
Hedblom is here.
Dave.
What?
He was, oh no, Dave. Is that
Copper Dan's dad.
Dad? He was around us yesterday.
Around
He
us.
was around here. He wanted to get together for
Was
coffee.
he the one running down the street naked?
Naked? Yeah, he might have been. Just letting us know he was in town. Dave, I'm
Well,
sorry.
it was kind of a parade thing. It was-
Dave, yesterday, the past couple of days have been busy for us because we've been on the phone doing interviews related to the new business venture. And
I've been training for a new position.
And she's training for a new position. And so we didn't get away from the office for 2 days. I'm sorry. But if you're coming back this direction after next week, I think he said it for Las Vegas.
Oh.
So if you're
Are they
coming
having a
back this
streaking
direction,
convention up
let
there?
us know. No, a streaking convention, yeah.
Las Vegas, New Mexico?
Las
Nevada?
Vegas, Nevada. Who goes to Las Vegas, New Mexico?
I don't know. Sometimes people do.
Actually, you know that one of my geology classes
Yeah.
is taught by a woman who's a doctor of geology at, what's in Las Vegas?
The extension for UNM?
No. Highlands.
Oh,
Highlands University, New Mexico Highlands University. She works for them.
I see.
But she's very easy to listen to. It's kind of very relaxing.
Kuykendall.
Kuykendall.
Quick-
Isn't it the one?
Kuykendall?
Kuykendall.
Missouri Dave's here.
Missouri Dave.
If you can't say somebody's name, move on to the next one. All right. I'm at the bottom, so we're all good.
Okay, great. So that would leave us to... Text time.
Text
got some
us
text
at
messages.
202-815-1171. If you're going to text us, make sure you use your first name and let us know where you're calling in from.
Or texting in from.
Texting in from. And after we read through the text, we'll move on to phone calls. So make sure you know that number. That number is our number.
Okay, this is from 610. Hi, Toby and Shelley. Happy Valentine's Day. Sherry from Pennsylvania. Isn't she the teacher?
I don't know.
All right. In case you do read texts tonight, quick question. What?
Sarah says, Alexa says you are a volcano in Africa that is a smoldering eruption waiting to occur over a ceremonial ritual.
I guess that could kind of be true, yeah.
Okay.
Hi, Toby and Shelley. Happy Valentine's Day. Sherry from Pennsylvania here. In case you do read texts tonight, quick question. On one of your Saturday night Church of the Search shows, which we love, by the way.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Yeah. Rio Grande Joe
I'll be
mentioned
searching
he
your
thought...
church in Vegas tomorrow.
Yeah, it will be. He thought... Well, I told Davio that he has the right to use the name if he wants to promote his own... live stream tomorrow night. He
Maybe
can call
he's the Scientology Church of the
of the
Search.
church. Yeah. Rio Grande Joe mentioned he thought that if you're at the home of Brown, you're basically right by the treasure. What are your thoughts, please? It depends what you mean by right by. So, if at any given point you're no closer than 500 feet, right? Because that's what people who are not looking for the treasure have been. I think if you're at the home of Brown, you can say to yourself, so Fenn put it in a really funny way. He said, if you're where warm water salt, you've made it more than halfway to the treasure, metaphorically speaking. Well, of course you have, because you're not sitting at home. But I don't think you can see the blaze from the home of Brown. I think Rio Grande Joe believes that you can, but I don't think you can, and that means you still have a little bit of walk ahead of you before you get to the point. Fenn insists again and again that you have to go through each one of the clues. And you know what, guys? I'm going to recommend this. I don't know how many times, but go back to last season, and it was it's like episode 8 or 9 of Expedition Unknown and watch that guy that found the secret box, the box that's described in the book, The Secret, by Byron Price, and follow him following the clues in the verse. And that's how it's going to work. That's how this is going to work. There was no, so like the first clue in his poem, in the verse, was two names of the two names of two Greek philosophers that happened to be engraved with a couple hundred other important historical figures on the top face of the Boston Public Library. And they had these two unusual names. And the verse says, if, I don't know, Bumpy Wad and Toulouse-Lautrec are with just north of each other. I made up the names because I couldn't remember.
Bumpy Wad?
I'm sorry.
What even is that?
I don't even know. I just made it up. So, but it was amazing because everybody else was looking for this mysterious, need for the understanding of Greek philosophy. And there they were, carved into the stone above the door to the Boston Library. That's how this is going to play out. That's how simple it's going to be. And I can't remember, I started counting the number of times that Josh Gates says, so people are overthinking it. And the guy that found the treasure, and he says, apparently, yeah. So watch it. That's how this, I predict in the long run, that's how this Forrest Fenn Treasure is going to play out. It's not going to be degrees centigrade or degrees latitude. It's going to be, oh, there it is. It's going to be like that example that I gave the other day where, it's a bad example, I understand, where the home of brown is actually the home of the New Mexico state record brown trout. That's how it's going to be. It's going to be, it may not be that. It might be oh.
Toby just figured it all out. Bye. We'll be back, maybe.
Watch that episode. It'll bring...
Davia says he's going to be L. Ron Davio.
L. Ron Davio.
Sakar says Google couldn't find the right Toby Younis, but had plenty for the right Shelley Carney.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. You see, yours couldn't find me. Couldn't find me.
Hey,
His Google is jealous.
What can you tell me about Toby Younis? She goes off for a couple of minutes on my stuff. Some obscure songwriter. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably right.
Very obscure.
Very obscure. About as obscure as they get. So where were we? Oh, we were reading text
solving
messages.
the poem.
No, watch Expeditions. That it's last season, season 7. I'll even find it for you.
Did you figure something out? Should we write it down?
No. So we've always thought about the Homer Brown as the home of the world record brown trout as it's been mounted and placed over that door at Cooper's Ranch store. Maybe it's where he caught the the New Mexico record brown.
Which is where?
I don't know. I never got that far. It was always like, there's the damn thing. I got a picture. Now let me go put in the boat below there. Mm-hmm. It was too easy. I never thought about it. Maybe it's the place that he caught it. Mm. The context is fishing. This one is, what's the latest on the 7,000-foot map? I have the first iteration, which was a little bit low resolution.
They thought you were already at the World Series of Fenn, so that's why they weren't here tonight.
Oh, no, one more. I said it 22 times. Do they not listen to me? Mm-mm. Do you not take me seriously?
They only come to talk to each other.
That's true. I'm saying things they're not even listening. Mm-hmm. So the latest on the 7,000-foot to 8,000-foot map is I had the first cut at it. It didn't indicate enough resolution. It did tell me that the area that I'm searching in is in that range. The problem was nobody else would be able to tell anything. It's just not resolved enough. So I've hired a person. I haven't hired them. We're in discussions with a person who is an expert.
I like how you call yourself on your own bowl.
Yeah, well, I haven't quite.
I'm lying. Never
I'm
mind.
lying. Never mind. Ignore that. So I'm in conversations with a person who's going to do the high resolution part of this, but he's in Europe right now and won't be back till sometime next week. So we'll start talking about it then. But we're moving forward with it because I think it's an amazing idea. Mojo Mike says, "Oh, what, Toby?" I don't know what that means.
No, Toby's going to be driving to Las Vegas. It's about an 8-hour drive.
Yeah, I'm going to be driving because I decided I want to take my e-bike with me, and because I wanted to go look for sand samples. So, and I've done it before because I used to do a lot of boating and fishing on the Colorado River above Hoover
And now
Dam.
that he has a CPAP, he can stay awake for the whole drive.
Right. Although I've gotten
if you
better.
can get yourself to fall asleep tonight.
I will. I promise I will. I've got
know,
to.
but when you have something going on the next day, it's hard for you to get to sleep.
Yes, says. Did you say something, Toby?
You'll have to play some kind of hypnotherapy or
Hypnotherapy
something,
music.
and take your sleep aid.
Okay,
or whatever.
can Colorado be eliminated as a search area? No, we can't eliminate any state as a search area until Forrest Fenn.
And plus, what if it's on the border? He can't eliminate it.
In one of his interviews, Forrest said that he frequently visited Montana and Wyoming and New Mexico, but he never left out Colorado. Irrelevant. He's always, when you ask him, as a matter of fact, he used to say Rocky Mountains. Recently, when he's asked the question, he starts using the four states.
Bruce Lee's got
New
an
Mexico,
answer for you.
Colorado, Wyoming, Montana. About what?
New Mexico record brook trout, Hidden Lake. Brown trout, the Chama River. Cutthroat trout, Latier Lakes, Lake Trout, Huron Lake.
Heron
Rainbow
Lake.
trout, Santa Cruz.
Oh,
So there's
Santa
your answer.
Cruz. So
Brown
the
trout,
Lake Brown,
the Chama River.
which is why apparently it's at Cooper's Ranch store. Put in below the home of Brown. Home of the and if you look at those damn clues from darn clues, sorry, Sassy, those dang clues from Expeditions Unknown, that's how they were. That's exactly how they were. 5
What
steps.
about seeing things
Pardon me?
rather than knowing things?
Yeah, that
Because it was like the steps are behind you. Well, he found that he could see the steps. It wasn't like, oh, there used to be steps there. The only
Right.
reason the park wasn't there anymore is because they were reconstructing.
right. You guys got to see this. She's right. It wasn't about knowing things as much as it was about seeing things and being able to use your imagination when you interpreted what they meant.
Yeah.
Here, read this. I'm going to find that episode for these guys because I'm a nice guy.
What am I reading? This
You're
Quantum
reading whatever.
from
Yeah.
Portland?
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, it's
Hey,
Quantum Entangler.
Can Colorado be eliminated as a search area? In one of his interviews, Forrest said that he frequently visited Montana and Wyoming and New Mexico, but he left out Colorado.
No.
Why would you do that?
Right.
Unless you were convinced it was in New Mexico and you yourself eliminated him. Forrest Fenn did not eliminate it.
No. As a matter of fact, if anything,
unless Forrest Fenn says so, I would be suspect.
as a matter of fact, most recently he's reinforced that it is in one of the 4 states.
Yeah,
What are you doing?
setting it down.
Keep
do you need me to
Keep
go to
doing
the
that. I'm
next?
still looking at this.
Next person.
Yeah.
Hey, really appreciate the show. I know you've spent many valuable hours researching this hunt. Would I be able to glean some information off of you?
That he has the information. or
Possibly.
Explain how he does that.
So you have the avenue of either calling in and talking to Toby during the live show or booking on his schedule for private call at the link in the description box below. Your choice. Or you can join the member vault because all the people in the member vault have the opportunity to book a call with Toby once a month. So
And
another avenue for you.
you have no idea how much fun that time is going to be.
We laugh in there.
Okay.
Not
here,
at each other, but
here
about
we go.
stuff.
Let's see. Season 7.
Just have fun times.
Mysteries, Dead Sea Scrolls,
There we
Florida
go.
Lost
Okay, that's all the
Planet.
texting.
Is that it?
Do you have voicemails?
Go check. I don't know.
Where do they live?
Okay.
In your phone?
Yeah, go to phone and then voicemail. There's 2 of them. Don't play them yet because I got to check them out. Let's see.
Okay.
970 Portland.
Vail,
that might
Colorado,
be, and Las
Portland,
Vegas.
and
That might be.
Vegas.
That might be John Wayne.
Or
Okay.
Christy, if she's there
Yeah,
already.
Good point.
She said she would.
No,
give me
she
that.
would use your cell phone. Okay,
Oh,
here it
that's
is,
true.
guys. Here it is.
You're not gonna play the whole thing.
No, I'm not going to play the whole thing. I can't do that. Oh,
New
I
year
can't
with
even
a
do
new
that.
way to cook with your new phones and tablets. So delicious. The Food Network.
That is going to
Turn
get
the
me in
sound
trouble.
off.
Okay, hang on. Let me get this because I really want. This is important to me that you see this and you see that I'm not crazy.
Gleaned.
You can glean stuff from it.
Bias confirmation is everyone's enemy, but you only have yourself to blame for paying attention to
No,
your
confirmation.
inner
It's
self instead of
confirmation
the
bias, not
poem.
bias confirmation. Oh my God, how many commercials do I have to watch here?
I don't know. Enough to pay them for putting that up there.
I guess I shouldn't complain. We make money the same way, don't we?
Yeah. Well, that would be a surprise. Why can't a search area have more than one state in it? Right, Sarah?
Yep.
She's
that
in
is-
southern Colorado, so she knows.
Yeah. So there are, I don't know, a couple dozen solves theories that start in Utah and end up in Colorado.
Ander Haven says it's also cool that the record brown trout, as mounted, has a sign that says, "Please do not touch."
Yeah, as if you want, like, you know where they had to put that sign up? Guess. 'Cause of the
Everybody touched it.
Yeah. People couldn't keep their little pinkies off the record brown trout. Like, it was going to bring them some kind of luck or something. I'm still on commercial thing here. I don't know what, this is a fourth commercial.
Well, that's because you skipped
Oh, you know what?
ahead
I
over
skipped ahead.
4
No,
of them.
Okay, let me just
you
find.
have to eventually
okay.
watch them. It's the
So,
rules.
let me just find the coolest spot, which is.
Belva says you're on the right track, Toby. Use the art of thinking. The art of thinking. Linked within the states, yes.
That's not popping up anything. Why is it not popping up?
Kids would be easier to discount where Forrest did not attentively
Oh.
fish with contentment.
Jeremiah H. Kalugis.
Saw the bird. What bird? Take some searcher deaths. What? No.
We don't discuss searcher deaths. That's bad karma.
One has to follow to understand and not to understand to follow.
They just
Forrest
keep
says,
playing that
touch it
commercial.
if you have clean hands. Is there supposed to be a surprise coming?
Yeah, I'm waiting
Surprise!
right now, I'm at the Nike commercials right now. It just keeps playing commercials.
Warm Waters Halt is in Montana, and Quest to Cease is in Wyoming.
Oh, there you go. Thank God somebody's figured this out. We are happy to hear that. We hope you figured it out. What are those? Nikes are ugly as sin.
Shh. They might want to advertise on our channel. now they won't. Who's that?
All right. Here. I'm stopping this because all I'm getting is commercials, and you just can read it, okay? I will show you. Go to Expeditions Unknown. This happens to be, I have YouTube TV, so it's on Discovery Channel.
So why do you have to
Un-
watch all these commercials if you have
because
YouTube
I keep
TV?
because when you watch it in the YouTube TV doesn't mean you don't see commercials.
Oh.
That's YouTube Premium if you don't want commercials on your YouTube channel.
Oh.
All right. Let me get through this without interruption. So, Season 7, Episode 12, The Secret Solved, Expedition Unknown. Watch that video because if you don't, at the end of that video, come to the conclusion that this Forrest Fenn read this book before he did his, because it was published before Fenn was diagnosed with cancer, right? So Fenn borrowed liberally from all of this for his treasure hunt. So watch this because you're going to be surprised at how amazingly simple once you understood what Byron Price was doing. It finishes they're talking to his wife and daughters, and because he passed away. He was killed in a car accident when he was 54. but his wife and daughters were there, and they were saying, Byron, if you knew Byron, what he wanted families to get in the outdoors and to experience these beautiful cities. The difference was Fenn wants you to go out in the boonies and fight grizzly bears.
He never said that.
This guy wanted you to go. All the secrets apparently are hidden in parks in 12 major cities throughout the United States, public parks in 12 major cities. Now, that's kind of dangerous itself, because if there's a policeman nearby and he sees you digging around in the park, you could get busted. But apparently, the people that have found these things, there have been 3 so far, Cleveland, Chicago, and now Boston. And the other 2 were in parks, and they managed to convince, after showing the city, the municipality, the people responsible for it, their solution, they let them go ahead with it. This third one in Boston, they had actually started restoring the park. It was torn up. And so the guy that found it actually went to the construction workers, and he explained the story, and he told them what to expect. And Josh asked these 3 contractors, did you believe him? And they all said, no, we thought he was crazy. But then they were digging around, and one of the pieces showed up. So they called him, and they held up any further construction until he could get a hold of Josh. You got to see it. Season 7, I forgot what it was already. Season 7 Expedition. It's called The Secret. It's the last one. It's the last episode of Season 7. You have to watch it. And when you do, you're going to feel like the angel Michael came down from heaven and presented you with a golden set of new insights into the Forrest Fenn treasure hunt. Trust me on that. That was Archangel Michael. Correction. Archangel Michael.
All righty then.
Okay. Where were we?
We were...
Oh, voicemails.
Voicemails.
Okay, let's see what we've got in the way of voicemails here. From Vail, Colorado.
There's 2 of those, so...
Oh, that indicates some form of desperation sometimes.
Hey, Toby, I called earlier. Yes, I saw an episode about math equations and how important they are to the poem. And they are incredibly important. But the math has to do with the area. It's not the same everywhere, but it is a mathematical problem that pilots need to figure out. And the reason why I know that is because I studied Forrest Fenn's career first. And I know a lot of pilots, and I know a lot of people that were in Vietnam. And so it is a mathematical equation. It's based off of a pilot's knowledge of math, what they need to know. And that's about it. But if you give me a call, I could give you some answers about the blazes. There's multiple blazes. They're both man-made and natural. And there's probably, I counted almost 30 of them, 40 of them that I found, but they can go on and on and on, and they're not really relevant to the whole poem. They're more of just a symbolic way of figuring out if you're kind of in the right spot.
So I didn't catch the young man's name, but I'm going to say the same thing to him that I just said to you. These guys. So we're off on mathematical equations that are necessary for pilots to fly, right? And there may be, I don't know, because I didn't require mathematical. I remember having an E6B. So there are mathematical equations. Are there equations? So the E6B, I guess they're equations. Anyway, there may be that require to fly. This poem doesn't require that. This poem requires you to find 2 names of 2 Greek philosophers in the face of the Boston Public Library. That's what this is about. It's not about mathematical equations. Watch the
I don't
damn
think it's about
darn
Greek
I don't know. I'm just
philosophers
using
either.
that as an example.
Maybe Italian ones.
Yeah, hey, Toby, Paul, or I won't say my name.
It's okay to say your name.
Quantum Entangler from Portland.
There you go.
Ah,
And just wondering if you were going to do a show tonight.
We are.
I'm not seeing it on YouTube. I know you made an announcement that you were going to maybe do it at a different time, I think. Anyway, I just thought I'd let you know. And, I mean, there is one thing I found out recently that kind of is interesting, and that is on Mysterious Writings, there's, videos and everything, and the 6 questions that she asks every year. And one of the things was Forrest Fenn said that people have found the first 2 clues and driven right past the rest of them.
Walked.
So that implies to me that when you're on the second clue, you're driving a car. And, I think clues 3 through 9 are all going to be right in the same area. Well, maybe not right in the same area, but pretty close. So, that's interesting because it implies that the treasure may be located very, very near a roadway, or, like a highway or a roadway or something like that, which means you wouldn't have to walk very far to go get it. I was just wondering what your thoughts were on that. I know there's a lot of room for interpretation, but, instead of hiking, 10 miles back on some forest trail, you may just have to park your car and walk a few hundred feet and pick up the treasure. All right, man. Hope you're on tonight, and if not, have a good time in Vegas. Say hello to everybody for me. Okay, bye.
So, in the first instance, your comment regarding to people had driven, he didn't use the word driven. He used the word walked past the other 7. So it was not driven, which makes sense in the context that if we believe that the distance between your finding of clue 1 and your finding of clue 9 is less than 1,000 feet. So it is walkable or hikeable. You will not be driving. You may drive to the point at which warm waters halt, but from that point forward, it is a walk of less than 1,000 feet. Sarah, yes.
So,
Sarah, do you like your
Forrest
new
has
pendant?
used the word walked the most when he's referring to people around the treasure, including himself walking back to his own car.
Well, sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
This is the first time.
Okay. I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry.
If it hadn't been walking, he would have probably used a different word, like I went or I traveled, or he would have used some other word beside walked.
Yeah, but he consistently
walked
used
is
walk.
pretty specific.
Yeah.
He says he walked and the searchers walked.
He never said driven. Okay.
Toby and Shelley, this is Dominic. This is the first time I've ever called. Just wanted to chat with you. If you give me a call back.
Dominate. Did he say dominate?
No, I think he said Dominic. It just came out like dominate. Because it transcribed as Jody and Shelley. This is Dominic.
Dominic.
So he got your name right. Well, let's give him a call back. What do you think?
Yeah. Why not? Make sure he knows we're on the air. We're on the air. We're live. We're talking to you.
Hey, Dominic, it's Toby and Shelley. We're returning your call.
Man, what a privilege this is.
For whom?
You guys.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought like it's a privilege for us to speak to you. Is it?
All the way around.
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Yeah.
Well,
no, you don't know me. I feel like we're friends.
Well, thank you. That's I actually that to me is a good way to be. That we're friends.
And it sounds like I'll meet you tomorrow. I live in Las Vegas.
Oh, great. Are you going to go to the World Series of Fenn?
I'm like 80%. Somebody offered me tickets to the Knights game tomorrow night.
Who are the Knights?
Oh, boy.
Well, I'm not from Las Vegas.
The college
the Vegas Golden Knights, the hockey team.
Oh,
it's a big deal out here.
Oh, I just had no idea. I had no idea. Aren't you about to acquire a football team as well?
Yes,
Oakland,
the Raiders.
The Raiders are moving
the
to Las
Oakland
Vegas.
Raiders are coming to town.
Did you guys build them a stadium and all that?
You should change
You'll
their
see
colors.
it when you drive in.
Oh,
so
okay, great.
See, Yeah, you'll be coming up to 15. Come up to 15. Don't go around the backside to Bally's. Come take the 215 in and then the 15 north, and you'll see the stadium on your left.
All right.
You can't
All right.
miss it. It's huge.
Because I'm staying at the Flamingo, so it's probably in that direction, isn't it?
Honestly, it's probably sixes.
Okay.
So go the 15 way, and I think you'll like it.
All right. All right.
So I'm calling because a while ago I remember watching a video with you guys, and you were talking about there was a sun component.
Yeah.
Where, and I can't find that video. I want to see it again, but I'd be curious if you'd be willing to kind of go through the logic or why you thought, and if you still think that there's a sun component.
So the answer to your question is yes, but I don't think it's a sun component. I think it's a time component. I think time is very important to Forrest. And nature,
how would he indicate the time in the poem? Sorry.
No, I don't think he indicates the time in the poem. I think he indicates the time in some of the hints that he gives us, right? So he says he hit it in the summer. What are you doing?
I was going to plug it in, but I guess I don't need to.
No, we have.
I think I found the time in a poem.
If you can use it. Here's what I'm going to suggest.
I'm excited to use it.
So let me tell you the conclusion that I came to, and that is, I feel like he's always said the blaze. He's used the word the blaze, and then he describes the blaze in various ways, but they always tend to be a little bit white, right, light colored. So it could be anything, and it has to have something of geologic proportions, right? It has to be around for at least 100 years or at least 1,000 years. Well, what's longer in geological terms than the relationship between the Earth and the Sun as we know it? You know, we weren't around for the beginning of the universe 13.5 billion years ago. We weren't around for the formation of the Earth 4.5 billion years ago. But around, 1.5 billion to 200 million years ago, the Earth became the planet that we know it today. And it also had the relationship that it with the Sun that it has today. So that's something that's going to be in place, assuming we don't get blown apart by a great big asteroid, that's going to be in place for 100 years and 1,000 years, that relationship. So it's very predictable. So my theory was, imagine that he was standing in a location that he calls a special place. And he was admiring, he was fishing, because when you're fishing, you're kind of taking everything in. You're taking the entire environment around you in. I remember fishing on the Pecos one day just before sunset, before the sun set below the mountains, not the temporal sunset, but the sun was about to set of the mountains. And I heard this crack on the water, and it was behind me, and it actually was so loud, it made me jump, like what the hell was that? And it was a beaver smacking his tail, letting me know that I was in his territory. But it was like a weird moment of like, you know, I just effectively communed with nature, or nature communed with me. So imagine he's standing there. It's afternoon. The sun is starting to cast its rays. And there is something on the side of one mountain that forms a blaze-like shape, whatever you believe a blaze to be, on the other side of that mountain. Could be a cliff face. And it only happens a couple of times a year for a certain time of the year, because there's about a 2, maybe 3 month range in which that would happen at approximately that time. You'd have to be there in order to see it, though.
Okay, so you're saying that the sun component will help you identify what the blaze is potentially?
No, I believe the sun component, the rays of the sun cast upon a fixed surface of a cliff or a cliff face or rock, I believe that is the blaze. And I believe you have to be there at a certain time of the year in order to see it. That's what makes it so hard. But it also makes it the longest lasting, because that's not going to change for thousands of years. There's going to be minor changes, but for basically 1,000 years, that will happen every day at that time.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, I like a lot of components of that. Before I got on, you guys were talking about 1,000 feet. So if I understand correctly, you're saying, let's assume you park at the home or just below the home of Brown, and then you're basically saying that from the time that you step out of your car you're within 1,000 feet of the treasure. Is that correct?
Well, I'm going to make it even more easy for you, and that is you're parked at where warm waters halt or within sight of where warm waters halt, or you know where warm waters halt. From warm waters halt to look quickly down your quest to cease, those geographic, not geologic, but geographic distance is less than 1,000 feet. So between
I don't see it that way. So you're saying the entire the world described in the poem by Forrest Fenn has no greater diameter or radius, I guess, than 1,000 feet.
That's correct.
Yeah, I'm gonna disagree with you there. I'd
It's okay.
say
No.
Homo Brown.
Yeah.
I'd say from Homo Brown to the treasure, but I think Warm Waters Halt and Canyon Down, I think there's some distance there. I don't think it's a great distance. I think they're in visual range.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. But that's fine. So, is there a reason 1,000 feet? Is it just kind of where? Did you pull that from somewhere, or is it just kind of deduction?
Yeah, I pulled it out of that somewhere, which we don't mention on our show, but I did it after considering the amount of time that I've spent in the mountains looking for this treasure, and what it takes to walk 1,000 feet, and what it would take for an 80-year-old man to walk 1,000 feet 4 times, carrying it, and 2 of those times carrying up to a 22-pound load. And
yeah, so we agree. You're walking 1,000 feet or less, but I'm just saying that there's a drive component between Warm Waters Halt and Homo Brown, and you're saying that you get out of the car at Warm Waters Halt,
or right above Warm Waters Halt. I don't think you should leave your house unless you have the geographic precision of Warm Waters Halt. If you can't on a map point with 6 decimal points of geographic position to Warm Waters Halt, then don't get in your car.
Yeah, no. So I've actually been boots on the ground to this spot. I just can't quit it.
Yeah. I know that feeling.
And so I'm very familiar. I'm very familiar with the area, and there is a very specific Warm Waters Halt, but there is a distance of, less than a few miles, let's say.
Yeah.
From there until you put in, but yeah, no. So I just wanted to call and ask you about the sun thing, and you answered that. I don't know if there's anything else, any insider Vegas knowledge that you want to know, or
no. I mean, I've been to Vegas enough times that I'm pretty comfortable with it. I've spent a lot of time there for both business and pleasure, and so I'm kind of comfortable with it. And I'm not going to have to do that much traveling around. I'm staying at the Flamingo, not the Flamenco. The Flamingo, and the World Series is at Bally's, which is effectively across the parking lot. So on Sunday...
Now you're going to walk over there, or you're going to Uber? Because that's a sketchy walk, Toby.
Yeah, I know, but I'm going to go over there. So there's
got his Fitbit.
There's a pre-meeting, there's a like a poker training session at 5:30, so I'll probably go over around 5. So I don't feel like it's going to be difficult. And then I may Uber back. The following day, I've got my e-bike, and I'm going to be cruising in the morning. I'm going to cruise around Vegas on the e-bike, and then I'm going in the afternoon. I'm going out searching for sand samples in the afternoon.
Where are you going to go search for sand?
So what I did is I asked the folks on the geology Reddit, and they gave me 3 locations, and one of them is a sand park. One of them, and I don't remember them. I don't have them in front of me, but one of them has red rocks in it. I think it was red rocks. It's an area. It's a. What's the word that I'm looking for?
Did you say Ascent Park? I didn't hear what you said.
No, red rocks.
Red Rock Canyon. Yeah,
Red Rock Canyon.
That's right by my house. You literally drive right by my house.
Okay. And then there's a sand park. I don't remember what the real name of it, but it's where people go to play in the sand. There's sand dunes there. And it's not near Red Rock. It's a different. And then there was another place that was more like a wetlands kind of area. And those were the 3 areas that they gave me as possibilities. I just don't have that in front of me right now.
Yeah, Red Rock's a good. I mean, yeah, you'll have some fun. I've never really examined it from a sand perspective.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of variety to the topography and landscape.
Well, I'm interested because if red is usually the result of sedimentary rocks, sandstone, things like that, and they tend to wear as a result of weathering and other effects, and it'll produce a red sand. I'm just curious about the red sand, see what it looks like, because it's always different.
So if you're looking for red, if you're looking for red sand, you can go. So there's the Red Rock Park, which as you're driving out, it'll be on the right.
Yeah.
You pay to go in. There's a loop. There's a bunch of tourists, a lot of variety.
Right.
Trails, paths.
Yeah.
If you wanted to see some red sand, a mile before that, it's called Calico Basin. You can pull in, and you're basically on the south side of the Red Rocks. It's the same mountain. You're just on the south side instead of the north.
Okay.
Or excuse me, you'd be on the east side instead of the west. You can go in and go right into the rock.
Okay. Well, I'm hoping that they have trails that I can take the e-bike in. The e-bike is a fat tire bike, so I can use it on those trails as well.
Not on the trails. You'll be able to use it on the loop.
In Red Rock?
In Red Rock.
Yeah.
So there's a drivable loop that does the whole thing, and that'll get you pretty close to just about everything, and then you'd have to get off and walk the rest of the way.
Well, it just takes me a minute to collect the sample and document it and then get it back. So I won't do any of the analysis until I get back home.
But getting back to the hunt, can I make a humble before we
Absolutely, of course.
Say goodbye?
Absolutely.
So this 7,200 elevation.
Yeah.
I think if you were playing a poker game with Forrest, that 7,200 was a bluff. He wanted you to make him think that he was weak, and I can only imagine him going around and just getting a lot of humor on people that are going all in on that supposed mistake of his. I think he's getting a good chuckle out of that.
The mistake that he made on the Today Show, the 7.
Yeah, the mistake, not a mistake. When you're playing poker, when people
I don't know, man. I had 3 experts look at that, and I told, I showed them other material, and there are times where you can tell, especially if Doug Preston is around, they're making mistakes. This one is an unforced error. And I do want to make it. So I do want to make clear that it's not, I haven't said 7,200. I've said between 7,000 and 8,000 feet was where the mistake will lead you.
Right, but his slip of the tongue, he said 7,200, right?
No, he actually didn't get that far.
Or did he say 7,000?
He didn't say. He didn't even say 7,000. He said the treasure is at 5,000. Above 5,000. Let me say that again. He said the treasure is above 5,000 feet. That's what he said.
Yeah. I've seen it several times, and I watched the clips with the analysts. And obviously everybody has their opinion, but I would take the under. Since we're in Vegas, I would take the under on 7,000 feet. If and when it's finally found and revealed, I would take the under on 7,000.
A 7,000 to 8,000. So I think.
No, I think it'll be between 5 and 7. Or what did he say it was between? What is the official limit? Was it 5 or 6?
No, his limit is above 5,000 and below 10,200.
Yep. So I believe that the treasure will be found between 5,000 and 7,000 feet. So I'm taking the under on 7,000. If we're setting a line at 7,000, you're going all in and saying it's above that.
I'm saying above 7,000 and below 8.
Yep, I'm taking the under on that. So I'm taking between 5 and 7.
All right. How much you want to bet?
We'll talk about it tomorrow. It's silly making bets with people we don't know, but we'll see. It's 50-50 either way, probably.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah. Anything else you want to know?
No, it's I've got some good insight about what I want to do on Sunday. Thank you for that. I appreciate the effort. Maybe we can talk about that tomorrow. So honestly, I know this is going to sound crazy to a lot of people in this room. I am less interested in talking about Fenn Treasure and poker than I am talking about sand collecting. So that's where I am right now in my life. So if you want to talk about sand collecting, we do.
No, I'm kind of seeing that, and I go through that too. With my solve, right? Like I went out all full of piss and vinegar, you know, and then you come home humbled, and then I did it again.
Yeah.
And then I came home. So I'm still confident, but I would say that I'm post ego.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah. That's kind of
like
where I'm at. Yeah.
Yeah. But I like myself a lot, and the more I think about it, the more you know, there's some layers there, and not real layers, real layers, not like, you know, finding a stamp in a book or something that, you know, matches anyway.
Yeah.
You know, those things, I think you can find those things wherever, but I mean, just going back to the poem, thinking about it and marinating on it, things come forward, and it does get you excited, and I'm excited to go back out again. And this time I'm within 15 feet, though, so we'll be
That's
all
good.
right.
You should be able to see it at that point.
That's what he says.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
All right, sir. I look forward to visiting with you tomorrow.
Yeah, it's good talking. Thanks again.
You have a good evening.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So, no, I'm not drinking whiskey. I'm drinking Ponderosa Valley Vineyards Hemes Blush.
Made in New Mexico.
Made in Nuevo Mexico. Let's see. Sarah rocks. I love rock and sand. Looking for the true treasure. So that's one of the reasons I'm going to go back to, I think I mentioned this, I'm going to back to our search area in the Rio de los Pinos this summer, but I'm going to go back for a completely different reason. I'm going to go back and do some research on that river of rock to see if I can figure out what it is. I want to find out.
I want to know.
I want to know, brothers and sisters. I want to know. Did I see K-Pro rush in?
K-Pro did. She said we could talk, but it was very loud where she was.
Let's see. The quote does not say walked. I'm Terry Scan. He does say he walked past. There was a quote that says walked past the other 7. Let's see. Could you have a romantic kiss on the Rio de los Pinos, asking for a romantic Colorado couple looking for Forrest Fenn's special spot?
You could. You could do whatever you want. Kiss wherever you like.
It's an interesting thought, because when you're out there, especially if you're looking for treasure, it's not necessarily, I suppose what would cause me to want a romantic kiss in the middle of, say, the Rio de los Pinos is having looked down at the treasure, and it would be a kiss of celebration, like, holy crap, we did it. And then getting punched by Kevin, probably. But
well, don't try to kiss him.
I
then.
know. Then I won't try to kiss him. But the thing for me is that I'm so invested in the mission. So if the mission is let's go find a beautiful place for a picnic, some wine, and maybe some romance. If that's the mission, yes, I could see that. If the mission is let's go find this darn treasure, then I just don't get the whole romantic part. Maybe that's me, because the mission is the mission. And if the mission isn't romance, then I don't know. It's got to be. Now, on the other hand, if the mission is romance, I give good dates. So what do you think of the, okay, let's see. Sassy says the quote does not say walked. Past. He went past is what it says, if I remember correctly. Went past the other 7, if I remember the correct quote. What did K-Pro have to say? I missed that.
It's blue because she's a wrencher. So
Let's
look for a
see
blue
where that
coat.
went. Toby, your brain is bending. Your brain is bending in half. By the way, phone lines are not open. Let me fix that. Sorry. We did get another voicemail.
Hey, Pro. Hi, Toby. Can't hear anything, but sent you a text. At Searcher Meetup, and we can say hi if you want, but it may be way too loud. Love y'all.
The problem is...
Toby and Shelley, this is Dominic.
We just did that. We just did
that.
Dominic. We got some more text messages. Wait, let me do this. I'm going to open up the phone lines if somebody wants to call in. We need to hear from Davio, I think.
L. Ron Davio.
L. Ron Davio, so he can tell us his plans for tomorrow night.
And how he's building pyramids or something.
Okay, phone lines are open. 202-815-1171. Let me read some text messages while we're waiting.
Toby is going to Las Vegas tomorrow morning.
Richard from Alberta, Canada. Has there been any discussion on identifying hints and how to apply them to a solve? Do you believe they are geographic? Yes. Watch season 7, episode 12 of Expedition Unknown on the Discovery Channel, and you will learn everything you need to know about finding Forrest Fenn's treasure. Toby, it's Davio. Hey, Davio.
I'm not going to build pyramids
Why not?
because I'm not a pyramid building.
I thought you were L. Ron Davio.
Build them with your mind.
Yeah.
That's right. Here, let me think real hard. Send me your money.
Make a tinfoil hat pyramid.
I am.
Oh, I tell you what.
Hang on, I've got to read something Colorado read because
Please.
I think we have
Please.
kind of
Colorado.
something.
What did
Colorado said, "A Gypsy's Kiss. It's called focus. One must focus on the treasure, not some silly kiss. I am glad
It's
I am
Valentine's Day, and
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
calling kissing
Yeah.
silly.
Yeah.
There we go. Valentine's Day with the
front of your
gypsies right
wife.
here.
Yeah. All right, Miss Lisa in the house.
That's right.
Miss
See?
Lisa, we missed you last night.
See what she says?
There were multiple quotes. One time he said went, and another time he said walked.
There
Thank you, Miss
you
Lisa.
go.
Ooh, so
We-
both quotes. It's
Yeah.
not just the one.
Yeah.
We
Because Sassy said right by. So
Yeah,
went right
went
by.
by.
That's what Sassy
Went
said
by.
earlier.
Yeah.
Right. So okay, well,
Oops.
So,
What's going
you
on
know.
there, brother?
I don't know.
pass it to the right, babe. That's what right means.
There you
There's
go.
got to be some there's a thing in there somewhere that means something, you know.
So what are
So-
what are you doing tomorrow night while I'm playing poker?
Brothers and sisters, let us rejoice in the chase, for the communication continues tomorrow night.
Yay.
So you're going to guide them through the saints and the sinners through the church of the search, huh?
Sing
I'm
some
going
hymns.
to channel Susie Fenhaven.
Oh, you know what? Did I tell you she commented on one of our videos a couple of weeks ago?
Right on, because she has a new name. She's Susie something else. I
It
forget,
isn't.
but it's
No,
still Susie.
it isn't. It isn't Susie. She is not Susie Q.
Right.
And someone proposed that to her. Proposed that to Susie Q, and she said, "No, I'm not that. That's a completely different person." So she does. She has not
That's right.
stated her channel yet, but she
No.
did make a comment on one of my videos and just kind of said hi, and I commented
Yeah,
back and
yeah.
said how she was doing. She
Yeah.
said fine. So
We send her love. We send love to her. She's out there, and that's just awesome, you know. So what she has started, I'm going to continue on. So that
Yeah.
means, I'll start the show with my big dumb face out there, and then we'll turn the computer around, and we're going to stick it in a book, or we'll stick it on a page, and we'll just talk about stuff. And my favorite thing that Susie always says is, "I don't know. Look at this. I don't know. Is this something? I don't know." So that's kind of my theme. Is I don't know, but what is this?
I was like, Sassy was throwing a sassy fit right there for just a second. So
Oh, did she?
Sassy,
Okay, now, careful.
we care about what you have
People
to say, Sassy.
putting words in my mouth
Yeah,
without paying attention to what I'm saying. No,
Susan-
I pay attention to whatever she says.
Yeah, I
What'd she
agree.
say?
We do. We do.
We're all eyes, Susie. What are you saying?
Yeah.
I'm staring at the text right now.
So,
Tell us.
so what are your plans for tomorrow night?
Well, like I say, I'm going to emulate Susie.
Yeah.
Susie Heckle. There it is, right there.
Heckin'
Lavender
liable.
says it. That's right. How do you say that? Heckle
Heckin' liable.
That's how we say it.
Absolutely. For heck sure.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. That's how it goes. Heck yeah.
Mm.
So what that means is I'm going to, put something in front of the computer and talk about it and just make questions. I mean, she's the best at making questions. Like, what is this? Why is it like that? Does this look like something? I think this is something. And so that, that's my favorite. I will call so there will be no question. We're going to hear the voice of Sassy,
Yeah.
mistress of the dark night.
Of the Saturday night search, which is kind of somebody made a comment. If this is a church, why does the church look so evil?
Whoa.
That's the point, right?
We look like an evil church?
Yeah.
Cult.
Wow, the Church of the Search? The Church of the Search I thought was, rather more like green trees and freaking brown books.
Yeah.
Lots of
Yeah.
research
The river
and
bottoms.
stuff
That's
like
it.
that.
Yeah.
I don't see where the
That's-
evil part, unless you find this is a big tease or something, but that's not my vibe on
No,
this.
no, no.
You
I
know,
don't.
My
I
vibe
agree.
is that, get out and look at a tree, put down the stupid thing and figure out where the trees are and go stare at them and find stuff. It's
you know
like,
what?
simple.
I'm going to actually use your word. That is not the right vibe for this search.
Dig it.
Dig it.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Because
Groovy.
when you say it just doesn't feel funny, I mean, you're really trying to say the words, there is a vibe about a thing.
Yeah.
And his vibe is go be creative, go out there and ask questions and look around.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really, the thing I get from Forrest all the time, which I think is totally fun, which is why, everything is off.
Another way of saying, when I say it's not Fenny, another way of saying that is I am not digging this vibe. It's pretty much the same.
Daddy.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right, man.
Yeah.
You grew up in the day. You were right there on the edge of Woodstock. I mean, you went into the Army and Woodstock happened that same year. That's freaking intense.
Let me tell you how far away from real world I was. When I got back, I didn't know. I saw a bumper sticker that said Archie Bunker for president, and I didn't know who the heck Archie Bunker was. That's what happens.
Right. You were in.
Yeah. Yeah.
In deep, man.
Yeah. The
So
closest I got to
as
Woodstock is one time I bought a purple and orange paisley shirt. That's as close as I ever got.
Probably from Hanes.
And bell-bottom jeans.
Which
I think
is
I had
cool.
a pair of bell-bottom jeans.
Was
I
it
think.
for a Halloween costume?
No, that was actually.
That was a work tie.
And some of those boots that had the square-toed boots with the ring on this side.
Yeah.
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 That was
there you
about
go.
that was about as hip as I got. And that was only one time. Then I got back into uniform and started shooting people. So.
Attaboy. So in that year, that's when Jimi Hendrix was the big deal. He was the top selling everything. He was the big act. That's why he went on Sunday on Woodstock. That's a rather important deal, since his name of his band that year for a very short time was Rainbow Gypsies.
Yeah.
So I found the name of your show was right in line with Jimi Hendrix, which was in line with you going in. I thought all these things were interesting.
That's about
especially.
So when was
it's the
Woodstock?
weight of
What year
gold.
was Woodstock?
It's 1969
Oh
August.
yeah. No, I was on my way to the. I wasn't gone. I didn't
August.
leave until December of '69.
Just imagine if you went to Woodstock before you went in.
I might not have gone in. I might not have gone in.
Life-changing event. I mean,
Yeah.
think about it. It was a life-changing event for 400,000 people.
No, I would have gone to Woodstock. I would have worn my purple and orange paisley shirt, my bell bottoms, and my boots with the rings on the side. and
Glasses with the yellow
I'd have,
lenses.
yeah, I'd have got some big glasses. So yeah, but no, I went green instead. All because I didn't want to go back to Santa Fe. Isn't that crazy? The only thing I was trying to do was get out of going back to Santa Fe. Oops, we lost him.
Oh,
Where'd he go?
that must have been that beep sound.
We lost Davio.
Lost the call.
All right,
Oh,
we
drop
do
it.
have a couple of voicemails. Let's listen to. This is from
Hola,
Will.
¿cómo está, señorita?
It's-
St. Valentine.
Will.
Will.
Shelley.
Oh,
There
Davio
he
calling
is.
back. Sorry, we lost you there for a moment.
I like that. You went green instead.
Yeah.
What an interesting way.
No, I'm
to
telling
look
you,
at it.
I literally did not, when I was about to graduate from UNM the following spring, and the only thing I had was this vision of going back to Santa Fe, becoming a intern in a law firm, coming back to law school, going back to Santa Fe, becoming a lawyer, then a judge, then a politician.
Wow.
My life was planned out, and I decided, no, I will just join. I lied to my mother. I told my mother I had been drafted.
Wow.
And I
What a
just
trip.
didn't want to go back to Santa Fe.
And boom, you're gone.
And I'm gone.
You had a plan.
I had
you
a plan. Yeah.
That's a good plan. That is a great plan. That's so cool about it. I mean, that's really cool. That's really awesome.
Well, I mean,
And by the way,
some
we're
people say-
really glad you survived Vietnam, by the way. I mean, Jesus criminy, the freaking stories you have are just horrific and frightening. And, God bless you. You're here with us, sir.
as
know,
are my
much
children,
love.
as are my children and grandchildren, and Shelley. Shelley's
And the
happy that
princess as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I can dig it. Right on. Well, my life has been pure art. It's been all about art in a very different road. Art and survival, I think they go hand in hand. So I always respect and enjoy hearing, the survive, how your life came to be what it is, your greens, etc. All that. So dig it. I think it's fascinating. And so look, and Forrest has brought us all together into one thing.
Right.
So this kind of qualifies as a religion real fast.
Yeah. No, there is a cult. I was speaking to someone on an airplane once, and they, as I described what was going on in our YouTube channel, they got really interested. And so they'd ask a bunch of questions, and I'd give them answers. We talked literally for a flight that went from Boca Raton, Palm Beach International to Houston. And so it was about a 3-hour flight. And towards the end, as we were getting closer to Houston, he said exactly the same thing. It's kind of a cult, isn't it? And I said, in some ways, it is. But you got to believe, right?
Yeah, there is a belief in there that I resist, but that is truly there. You have to believe that Forrest has actually done this. That is the right word.
That's it. And there's one of our Member Vault members that says, if you don't believe that, then the rest is all conjecture. So when we tell people, we say to people, you can do anything you want, but if you don't believe he had a treasure, stop spending time, money, and effort worrying about it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the line. People believe a man would have done this or not have done this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, which is, so I'm all in on that part.
There are people that don't. That John Kleberg, that attorney that specializes in New York, that specializes in treasure law, he doesn't believe Fenn hid it. He believes it's a big hoax.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, to what end? Just to get people to talk about a thing?
Just so that he called him, he's a self-important man that wanted people to know who he was. Those are his words. And when I asked him if he would come on the show and this was back when we were doing panels and stuff like that, he hung up on me.
Yeah, no shit. I can see why.
Yeah.
Wow, he was fascinating.
Very angry.
Well, lately I've been seeing this as avant-garde theater, everything. The fact that you have a show, the fact that I go on and talk about stuff and then throw it away. So if you're not there, it makes it really very avant-garde, which I find really fun and tricky and all that kind of stuff. And I think this is all kind of interesting in the big scope of things.
I agree.
People who have come and gone with that, and just on a YouTube format. I mean, just here's a stat. I wonder. You've got 5,000-6,000 followers and whatever 50,000 people have seen your vid, 30,000 have seen mine. So I'm wondering what the number is of people who are not involved at all on this medium, because I've only been involved in this medium since 17? I think it's 2017, but tons of work before that.
Think about this. In 1 month, we get over 65,000 views. In 1 month.
In 1 month.
In 1 month, 65,000 views. In that same month, do you know what an impression is?
Yeah.
That's
impression.
YouTube promoting one of your videos. In 1 month, YouTube gives us 800,000 impressions. That means if you sign on and you say anything about Forrest, and I'm not even talking about Forrest Fenn, I'm just talking about Forrest, it shows you one of our videos. That's a lot of traffic. And YouTube does that because it generates traffic. They're only doing whatever YouTube does, it's doing it not because they like you. It's doing it because it adds to the $15 billion in advertising revenues they make every month.
Exactly.
That's a lot of impressions.
It is. It's what's interesting is in the nightclub business, a line attracts a line. So if you get a line in front of your club, you get more people. It's weird. So yes, I get the analogies that that they're doing. It's
Yeah.
it's an interesting new medium. I think it's pretty fascinating actually. It's I think it can be used, and here's something that our princess will appreciate. Since the male suicide statistics are through the roof and climbing all kind of ways at both ends, I would think getting people to communicate in a kind of coffee shop environment that this kind of creates, I think is a way of getting people, feel like they're part of something.
So here's the deal.
Coffee shop with
I like that.
Toby and Shelley.
Coffee shop with Toby and Shelley on the new channel.
Boom.
Boom.
Yeah.
Boom.
Where we talk about little pink.
And be a voice for the writing. You know what I mean? So as people are right now chatting, which I cannot read because it's just too hard in my head. If you have a voice, if you have someone who is that voice, you know what I mean? It becomes an avatar more than just writing. I think that would be really cool theater of reality life here. It'd be interesting. So in other words, if you had people who are speaking the text and you're answering to that and you're interacting and, whatever.
Yeah.
Interesting coffee shop.
No. I agree with you. And
We'll play music.
evidence of that is over the past 3 weeks, I've tested Church of the Search. I did 2 hours.
Yeah.
And it had over 150 people. I did 3 hours, and it had over 150 people. I did 4 hours, and it had over 150 people.
Well, I see your point.
I could do all night. I could do an all-night Church of the Search. Sassy, I'll call you right back after Davio's call because we're still talking. Sassy wants time.
Right on, Sassy.
All right.
Yeah, Sassy. We need
Coffee
Sassy
rock.
needs to speak.
Coffee talk.
Yeah.
But it is an interesting. This is create a place that there is a community
I
that
agree.
communicates around the topic of the search, and I think that it is, important to go in and out of it because it spins off a whole bunch of other, nice things that can happen out there. I think it spins off a lot of imagination, creativity, which is my thing. So so tomorrow night I'm gonna do the Church of the Search with a little bit of music and have a soda and shoot the vibe with everybody, and there you go, brah.
And you can invite Violet to share the limelight with you.
God, please. Oh, I don't know. I don't know how to do the
I know.
Yeah,
It takes
I
a
can't
lot,
Zoom.
but
I
don't worry
know how
about
to
it. Just
all
do
that.
your thing, and
Just show up.
I will pick up on the vibe and dig on it, Daddy.
Yeah, babe. You know what? Put up a premiere channel that sends people over to me. So when people go looking for you, they go over to me.
I'll just say,
and then I can shoot
I'm
them
not
back
here
to
tonight,
you.
but go
That's
dig,
right.
go dig
Yeah.
the Davio,
That's
dig
right,
the
man, with
Davio
your-
man.
That's right. And do it with all the Las Vegas noise in the background. That's what you should do. Is after you get to Vegas and you got everybody in the background, that's when you should do it. That should be your background, look. You just kind of blast it onto the screen.
If you're watching this, you're wasting your time. Go watch Davio instead.
That's right. Go hang with Davio. Go get your fingers writing. You're going to go write letters to Davio. We're going to hang. We're going to chill, have a soda, dig it.
All right. Dig it, Davio.
Dig it, bro.
You have a good evening, and we'll talk to you next week when I get back into town.
Much love. Princess, we love you.
Thank you.
Talk to you later.
Sassy, we love you. Holy, you are the woman. Okay.
You're the woman.
I know.
Have you been watching the conversation between Sarah and
Coffee talk.
Coffee talk.
Coffee talk.
Not for
We'll have
YouTube comment.
coffee, we'll
We will
talk. No big
see
whoop.
how many kisses Colorado gives when I tote out the treasure
She
and he
said
is
that
my getaway.
wasn't for public
Oh,
reading.
well, she's typing it. What do you want me to do? We
Oh,
did get
so we
a.
got ka-ching
Oh, wait, I just lost it. Hold on, hold
you
on.
passed it again. It's
No,
down
there's
there.
more than
Blue.
one. There's more than
But they
one.
were close together.
Were they?
Yeah.
Okay.
There you
There you go.
John Miller.
I'm a pastor. I love Church of the Search. Don't tell my congregation, but sometimes more than Sunday. Thank you, Pastor
And we have
Miller. I appreciate it.
Colorado. Sarah
Received the
her
necklace, and she loves it. Good. So I got this cute little fox with a crooked little face. Isn't that the just adorable thing for the princess? And it reminded me of a story when Sean and Jason were little. Like Sean was 5, Jason
Are
was
you
7.
going to tell that story?
Am I not? I can't tell because it reminded me of
Because
it.
you might embarrass your daughter.
She doesn't watch this stuff anyway. Anyway, she was about 5, and we were walking down the brick walkway on Palace Avenue near Sena Plaza, and Jason and I were walking ahead of her, and all of a sudden we heard Sean, and she said, "Hey, how did she say it? She said, "Dad, look, a bear with a heart on." Oh, it's Sassy.
It had a heart on it. She was a little girl.
She was a little girl and she didn't know better. Hey, Sassy.
Hello.
What are you up to?
Well, I wanted to let you guys know exactly what it said on Terry's cat because this is kind of important stuff
Okay, go ahead.
when you're pinpointing your last little bits of your solve.
Agreed.
All of this, nothing said anything about walked past it. Nothing said anything about right by. I'm going to read you exactly what it says.
All right.
Okay. Some folks correctly mentioned the first two clues to me in an email, and then they went right past the other 7, not knowing they had been so close.
Right. That's the one that I recall. I'm sorry if I used the word walked. Went past the
Okay.
other 7.
Then-
They didn't say
then the
drive,
other
right?
one is- Yeah, then the other one from another interview, there have been some who have been within 500 feet because they have told me where they have been. Others have figured the first 2 clues and went right past the treasure and didn't know it.
Right. So in both cases, they went past the treasure rather than walked past. I'm sorry, went past something versus walked past something.
Right. It's not saying drive. It's not saying walked.
Right. Okay.
But you know, to people have different perceptions about what clue is number clue 1 and number 2 and number 3 and whatever.
Yeah.
And other people have different opinions on where they get out of the car. You're saying get out of the car where warm waters halt.
Well, let me qualify that so that we're clear. Wait, let me qualify that.
Okay.
I don't necessarily believe that you can drive up to where warm waters halt. I do believe you can drive up to a location that puts you within walking distance of the precise location at which warm waters halt.
Okay. In my particular case, I think that you put in below the home of Brown is where you actually get out of your car. However,
yeah.
it's a matter of feet between, you know, home of Brown and where you're putting in. It's not a matter of miles.
Yeah.
But it's also probably a mile and a half from where Warm Waters halt to where home of Brown is.
A mile and a half from where warm waters halt to home of Brown.
Where I'm putting it below the home of Brown.
I see. Okay.
So when different people are looking at that, if they get it in their head that searchers figured out the first 2 clues and kept walking past the treasure, that indicates that you don't have to get to home of Brown, you know? It doesn't make sense to me, and I want people to have the right quote from Forrest and not, you know, think that it might actually be true that he said you didn't get out of your car, then that they walked right past it from, you know, where warm waters halt, if you look at it that way.
So
that's, I just wanted to clarify what Forrest said, because when it comes to those last little details that are going to put you right on top of the treasure, and so many people have honed their solves, and they're can't wait for spring and going to get out there, and you know, the more honed, the better. And having the exact last little inches and feet that you think it might be is really important.
Yeah. So when Forrest says they, and you're going to have to recite the quote again to get it perfect, but he said they got the first 2 clues and went past the other 7.
Okay, I've got that one. Hold on.
How do you
correctly mention
the first 2 clues?
Some folks correctly mentioned the first 2 clues to me in an email, and then they went right past the other 7, not knowing they had been so close.
So when you hear Forrest say that, in terms of the distance that you imagine that to take place over, what distance do you imagine between the first two clues and walking past the other 7? Going past the other 7.
You've heard myself before because I went on there and told you all. Okay,
Right.
So say my put in was at Maverick Campground, right?
Yeah.
If I had mentioned to him that that Agua Fria was my where warm waters halt, and Eagle Lake was my home of Brown. I mean, it's not anymore, but
Yeah.
Then I would have or maybe not even mentioned home of Brown, but just said Agua Fria, and say it's at Clear Creek, which is before you get to Maverick Creek, right? So I would have given the right warm waters halt and the right canyon, but I would have gone right past it at Clear Creek in my effort to get to Maverick Creek. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to me, it's useful, especially with the part that he said recently about contiguous. Contiguous is certainly important because if my home of Brown is Eagle's Nest Lake, that is not contiguous with Maverick Creek. You see what I'm saying?
Yes. So
not really, because it's like
I'm still not sure
8 miles away.
when he uses those words, went past the other 7. Are those people that went, in your opinion, the people that went past the other 7, were they walking or driving?
Probably driving, because I think if they were walking, they would have been a lot closer to it. He doesn't say that these people that walked past it were within 200 or 500 feet.
No, he doesn't. He just said they went past the other 7.
Right.
Or in one case, and then they went past the treasure in another.
Right. So if where Warm Waters Halt was actually, say, the special waters where it stops.
Yeah.
Okay. And where the brown trout breed.
Yeah.
So therefore it's the home. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
And then where it stops, where the special waters ends, there's actually a put-in right there.
Yeah.
And a little turnout. Okay. So that's all contiguous. But if I'm going from Agua Fria to Eagle's Nest to Maverick, I have just gone past all of the clues.
Yeah.
In my car and not even gotten out yet.
All right. So let me ask the question in a different way. So your impression is that the people who correctly interpreted the first 2 clues and then went right past the other 7 were driving. Mm-hmm. Your impression is that they were driving. Is that correct?
Yes.
Should they have been walking?
Well, I think if they had the correct third clue, they would have been.
So you think one of the reasons they went past the other 7 was that they were driving rather than walking. Is that correct?
Yes, because they didn't make it contiguous enough.
Right, yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay, because where Warm Waters halts may or not be a distance. I mean, there may be, in the case of the special waters, it starts up again. Mm-hmm. You just have to get past that mile there, right, where the water's halted. And if that is indeed the home of Brown, because that's where all the fingerlings, and that's where they, plant them and
right.
whatever.
Yeah.
If they're indeed the home, if that is those special waters area that's a mile-ish long, if that's indeed the home of Brown, you're starting it at one end. At the end of it, it's the home of Brown, so that's where you put in, and there happens to be a parking pool out there.
Yeah.
So you're now past the special waters, and you're back to regular waters.
Right.
And then since you're parked there, it's a matter of getting out of your car and walking, so it's a matter of feet.
So are you, I guess I shouldn't say, are you using the New Mexico fishing regulations definition of warm waters?
No, I'm actually using the definition for those special waters in that particular area.
Okay, all right.
They have it's from the end of Toby parking, the day use area.
Yeah.
It starts at the end of there, and it's 1.4 miles to the first bridge where the river crosses.
That's right. Just before you get to the horseshoe parking area, horseshoe mine parking area.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, horseshoe mine.
Yeah.
There you go. Heavy loads.
One of my early theories. Have you been in the horseshoe mine?
Why would she be in it? Nobody would go in there except you.
Well, if I send my son, he'll go in there because he's an idiot.
Yeah, so am I, apparently.
Yeah, because he would go in there, he would think it's cool.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was, so.
You tell him that there's bears and things like that could be sleeping in there. He don't care. He'll go in there and poke the bear.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but
he's a bear. I'll shoot it.
He's ex-Marine, though, isn't he? Or Marine?
Yeah. He's a 6'7" ex-Marine that's built like a linebacker and not really afraid of bears.
No, that's interesting. So, how did you produce a 6'7" Marine when you're like what, 5'2"? What are you?
You know what? My dad found I'm like the shortest. My sisters are like 6 feet tall.
Oh, okay, all right.
I'm 5'6". I'm 5'6". My mom was short, but my dad was 6'4", and his brother's 6'6", and Tanner's dad is 6'6", and all of his brothers are 6'4", 6'5", 6'6". So he didn't have a choice. He's tall.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for calling in and clarifying that for us. We really appreciate you taking the time. And
okay. I just want everybody to hone in on those last little bits, and I think it's really important to pay attention to things like walk and drove.
I agree. I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Talk to you later.
Tell Dr. I love him too.
That was you.
It's
She loves you.
Valentine's.
It's Valentine's Day. She loves you too.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
And Shelley, I love you too.
Thank you.
Happy Valentine's
Bye-bye,
Day.
you guys.
Bye-bye. Let me do that call back right there. Who was that? Strange.
Oh, there was no
Elder.
name. You got 10 minutes.
Okay, got it. Keep me on track.
You got to go on a drive tomorrow.
Hey, Melbourne, it's Toby and Shelley returning your call. What's up?
Thanks. Hi, Toby.
Hi.
Hi, Toby. How's it going?
Pretty good. And you?
All right. Hi, Shelley.
Hello.
What's your name?
This is David.
Oh, hi, David. How are you doing?
Call me River of Rocks. I like your term for it.
Yeah, the River of Rocks. That's what it looks like. I can't think of another way to describe it, and I've been trying to describe it in the geology group on Reddit, and they're going like, I don't know, it's not there. It's just, you have to be there, right? It's just so unusual and sticks out like a sore thumb. I'm going back to research it, including drone shots and stuff, so I can bring it back to these geology guys. Anyway.
It's amazing. It looks like a panther from the view you showed when you flew by Google Earth. Yeah, it really does have it. It looks like you can explain the other side. There's a bunch of rockfall on the other side, but that's the result of the blasting that was done for the WNLD trail. There's no excuse for it on this other side. So happy Valentine's Day, Shelley. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Well, I'm not too good, but
why aren't you too good? What's the matter?
I don't like to talk about it, but I got acquired tetanus. You probably know something about it.
Yeah.
So, it's taken its toll on me.
Yeah, it does. It's not an easy disease to acquire, and it's not an easy disease, and it's hardly a disease, but it's not easy to get rid of.
But anyhow, I was thinking in this search, I've had problems when I went out to search for the treasure.
What kind of problems?
like the sheriff's department.
What did you do to have the sheriff's department take interest in your searching?
I camped out in the park, and they just came up on me when I was camping there and had me take a medical test. What else did they? Because I was searching for Fenn's treasure. I guess they thought I was crazy. And
what park were you in, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, I kind of would like to keep.
Oh, okay, all right. Was it? Can you tell me what state you were in?
Yeah. Let's just say close to where you're at.
Oh, okay, all right.
Very close.
Well, you'd have to go out of your way to find an official there, because we've been up there, I don't know, 8 or 9 times, and I don't think we've ever run into anybody with, I mean, other than passing on the road, right? We'll occasionally cross paths with a forest ranger going in the opposite direction, but I've never even run into anybody, much less a public official of any kind. So.
And the other time I go out there at 3 a.m. with my brother.
Yeah.
Pass one car, and the next morning, a bloodhound, a truck with a bloodhound in it, with 2 guys in it, come down the trail, which no one could have seen us come out there.
Yeah.
Say they're hunting turkey. I went up to talk to him, and he calls himself Joe Brown.
How convenient is that?
I'm just freaking out.
Yeah.
Like, well, what do you have a bloodhound for?
Yeah.
And I had a turkey I shot over here. I didn't kill it.
Yeah.
And of course you can't hunt turkey up there, can you? So I'm like, well, all right.
Well, in that part of the forest, if you're below New Mexico, you're in the Carson National Forest. And the New Mexico hunting season includes national forest properties depending on the time of the year. So you can fish on national forest land.
Anyways,
I'm sorry, you can hunt on national forest land depending on the if you have the right license and it's the right season.
Yeah, and another time I found the sheriff's walkie-talkie up where no one else should be. A ranger walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
It's like, how did they know?
Yeah.
I was thinking, well, how does Forrest know? So what do you all think? Maybe he's got drone?
Nope. He's not going to know unless you tell him when you find it.
No, I think he's got some, maybe like some people have said, the camera way off. They can.
He astral projects himself.
You think it's astral projection?
That's what Heather says.
The technical solutions that have been described, you have to envision, first of all, that those solutions were implemented in 2010, if he actually did that. So you've got to not only power it, you have to make it communicate. And you don't even have, once you're in that canyon, as most of the canyons in northern New Mexico, you're not going to have cell phone service. So now you got to have a satellite link. Then you have to buy, in order to have a satellite link, you have to engage a satellite company. So now you're leaving a paper trail. There is no way to do it independent of leaving a paper trail. He can't afford a paper trail because now other people know about it. So
yeah,
if you look at the early conversation that he had with Lorraine Mills, he effectively said he's not going to know it unless the finder tells him he found it.
Yeah, but it could have changed since then, right?
He hasn't been back to the location of the treasure since he placed it.
Aha! You don't have to go back. You go a mile away and put a scope on it.
You could, but the simple fact of the matter is he's indicated that he hasn't done that. He hasn't been back to it because it's of no interest to him. Why does he care? Why does he? Once you place a treasure, let's look at it from the treasure placer's perspective. Once you've placed a treasure with the expectation that that treasure hunt can last up to 1,000 years, maybe longer, maybe it'll never be found, why do you care if it's been found? Or why do you care to go back and look if what the decision that you've made is, I put a treasure in place, go find it?
I would care because I wouldn't want these crazies then who call and say they have it. You know they don't because
all he has to do is ask a couple of questions and ask for evidence. If you have it, send me a picture of a bracelet laying on top of a copy of today's newspaper.
why even bother? You don't even have to do that.
You don't. You actually don't. You don't have to tell him anything. You don't have to. You can go straight and start liquidating it or giving it to museums or whatever you want to do. There is no requirement, and he knows this. There is no requirement for anyone who finds the treasure to tell him, or anybody else for that matter, that they found the treasure.
Well, I was wondering too that how do maybe people are stalking my area. Maybe someone's going to kill me when I come out with it, because the third time I went out there, there are people, there's hunters behind us.
Yeah.
I didn't go all the way out, but I heard them. It was like, be quiet.
Yeah.
And then I waited till dark, and I came out kind of around the other way.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what the hell? I don't know. And it just seems like I wish I had protection. I could tell somebody where I'm going and not worry about the state feds rounding me up or somebody taking me away just for, they know where you're out there. They know where he was somehow.
Yeah.
Shooting the first guy that comes out there with it.
Again, my sense is that the likelihood of that happening, you've got to be just as conscious of the environment that you're in when you're not carrying a $2 million load as when you are, right?
Mm.
Ask him to send me a text message.
Yeah, I mean, what's Shelley think of the movie of Forrest Fenn and the little girl from India solving the treasure and make up a movie, and we'll make our own happy ending. That's kind of where we're at. We believe that that the person who finds the treasure has a bunch of decisions that they have to make, including what they're going to do with a Pandora box of events that will occur as a result of them finding the treasure. Shelley, do you make movies? Or you said you used to produce?
We used to. Not lately. Yeah.
What kind of movies?
Just short ones.
We did everything from mostly short films. I did longer documentaries. That's my career, was making documentaries on behalf of the federal government. But when Shelley and I started working together, we started with TV programming, and then we went to short films that ranged from comedy to road trip to... We wrote a script. Chick flicks. We wrote a script for based on an experience I had in Iraq, and we actually won an award for that script. So we did a lot of different things, but what causes you to move away from it is having to organize a group of people for a production at any given point in time. Versus doing a live stream and then finishing the live stream and walking away from it. It's just that much easier, especially when you have a studio like we do.
Yeah, I mean, that's nice. You all make like Davio was saying, that's quite a newscast.
Yeah, we're very comfortable with it, and we've been doing it a lot. I mean, if you think about it, we do, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 10, between 12 and 15 hours of programming a week, all live stream.
Very good.
Yeah. So
that's not including our member vault.
Yeah, that's not including our member vault. That's right.
Yeah, I'm amazed that, like you and Forrest, your history of service to the U.S., and how you did that. You said you're not into politics, but you did that one politics show, and everybody shot you down. It was like, yeah, Toby, this is great. This is the best thing ever.
Yeah.
But
yeah, we learned not to do politics. It's too, the nation is so polarized right now that people can't, when it comes to politics, it's hard to speak in a civil manner with other people. So we just avoid it. Have your own politics. Vote when you get the opportunity, and that's what it's all about. So,
I hear Yeah, but religion too, though. But now you brought up Archangel. Who's that?
Oh, Archangel? No, well, let me tell you a story about Archangel. After,
You're supposed to talk about that.
Pardon me?
Secret.
It isn't. I don't think it is anymore. I think you can tell people, don't you? Come on, it's been more than 25 years.
Secret.
All right. Shelley's not going to let me tell you. Well, you know it. It can't be that secret.
Yeah, but I don't tell everybody about it.
True. Good point. All right. So you got to remember that I spent for the first part of my life as a Catholic. So strong Catholic schools, Catholic high school, St. Michael's Catholic all boys, Catholic boarding school. So yeah.
Yeah, but it's odd. Your religion, your reason for denying religion, is my reason for supporting religion.
Oh yeah, and I think that's what makes democracy great. Is that we can each experience those things in the way that we choose, as long as it doesn't impact the lives of another person. So you can believe in religion without impacting my life, and I cannot believe in religion without impacting yours.
And that's what it takes to be a great announcer, as you two are.
We try.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, we try.
Bob's just, you're very good. What can I say? Well, thanks, y'all.
All right, sir. Thanks for calling in. We appreciate it.
Okay.
You have a good evening.
Take care, bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. I'm sorry, I hung up before you got a chance to do that.
That's
Did
okay.
3D send me a text message?
I don't know.
Okay.
Somebody
Let's
left your
see. There we
voicemail,
go.
I think.
That's him. Let's give him a call.
Please state your name after the tone,
Christy
and Google Voice will try to connect
Fiorello.
you.
Toby Younis.
Hello. Christy, you can find our videos on our, it's not a restoration channel. You just have to kind of dig for them.
Here, I'm going to give you one that you can go look for.
Hello.
Hey, 3D Bronze, it's Toby and Shelley. What are you up to?
Hey, guys.
What's up?
I just wanted to call real quick. I sent you an email. I just want to clarify something real quick, and I'm not sure if it's been addressed yet, but Forrest did say walked right past, and you can hear the audio in the link that I sent you, and it's at 12 minutes and 50 seconds.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to show it right now or not, because I know you don't have time.
I don't. What I didn't want, because we don't have enough time, but what I will do is I will share the link with Sassy, because I think she hasn't heard it, and I think that's where part of the... So I'll share that with Sassy. I'll forward that to Sassy so she can...
Okay, no worries. Not trying to ruffle any feathers. Just,
No. I don't. I
interested.
understand. I think it's important for us to have all the information necessary to make wise choices when we're out searching. So that's just going to help her.
And the other thing I just want to share with you real quick, I'm sending you guys a couple lithophanes. It's something that I'm 3D printing now, and I put a link in the email for that as well. Yeah, just so you can kind of see the one that I'm going to send you guys. But
Okay.
You don't have to share that or anything. I just wanted to share it with
Well,
you.
I don't mind sharing it next show. We'll do it next Wednesday. We're not going to do a Saturday night show this weekend, but
yeah, I'll miss you guys on that one.
but I'll show it next week, and we can whatever you sent me, we'll take care of sharing with everybody.
Perfect. Thank
Okay.
you guys, and have fun in Vegas. Tell everybody I said hi.
Thank you very much. I will. I'll see everybody tomorrow.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye. So that's it. Ooh, we're over time, and I got to get things to do. So we're going to break out of here because I have to finish packing because I'm leaving at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, and I want to make sure I'm packed and the truck is in the
And the
garage before I
fox
go.
needs to get to bed.
The foxy fox. You know what this little fox? Her name is Aphrodite, and the reason that I bought it was because it was so darn cute with that little crooked nose. Look at the crooked nose. And inside it says, "You and I share a love so dear, best friends we will be all through the year."
Yeah.
Kind of described. Okay, so Sassy, I think what 3D was trying to do is make sure you have all the possible alternatives in one place, and that way you can start making. I don't think like he said, he doesn't want to ruffle any feathers. So, Christy, that was the documentary, the one that I sent you, Stories of the Spill. And that was the first documentary that I worked on after 40 years of working for the government that wasn't working for the government. It was
still kind of.
Pardon me?
It's still kind of related to environmental anyway.
Yeah, it was environmental. It was done with my good friend, Janet Bridgers. She's the president of Earth Alert. And she actually attended a course that I was teaching in documentary making. And about the fifth lecture, she came up afterwards and she said, I'm never going to be able to do this. Would you do this for me? And we worked out conditions. And so it literally, that was a 2-person documentary, me and Janet. We did everything together in California. Stories of the Spill about the 1969 Santa Barbara oil spill. One of the fun things that I've done. But we've done several others. If you go to It's Not a Restoration, this channel that we're going to be swapping over, there's a bunch of them on there.
Okay, well, let's play our music. Which one is it? This one.
Look at you, this button pusher.
Push your buttons.
And
thanks for being here, everyone, for having a good time with us and hanging out in the chat room on a beautiful Valentine's night. We appreciate you, and we will see you again on Wednesday. For the Hump Day Hoedown. And until then, hang in there with Davio. Have a good time. We appreciate you. And for this channel, which one is this?
A Gypsy's Kiss.
Thank you. I am, as always, the magical treasure princess and life coach to the rich and famous, Shelley Carney.
And as we say in the days where we used to duel, I'm her second. I'm Toby Younis, and we're glad that you could join us on Valentine's Day today. We will not see you on Church of the Search tomorrow night. We'll be traveling. We'll see you on Wednesday, and we'll have some more fun back then. Thanks for joining us tonight. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. So take care. Have a great and safe weekend.